So far, everything I've shown you has been Java, and I don't want you to get the impression that this is Java-centric. Java's a nice language and everything, but there are other possibilities. So let me show you hello.perl, okay? Hello.perl uses edu : lsu : cct : ubiq2 : ts Brandt : p : hello. All right, that's a mouthful, I realize, but it's the same basic thing. We're using the package structure that Perl has in this case rather than the package structure that Java has, but it's still going to map to a file system request that Fuse understands how to handle. And voila. There's also a Python example. It's called mat. Works in a similar fashion. Now, Python, interestingly enough, was a bit trickier to make work. You have to have this little uroot dot in front of the package system, but otherwise it's the same. Now, one of the more exciting things that we can do, if you didn't think that Java and Perl and Python were exciting enough, is C++. So what we have here is a C++ class, and you can see the include file uses this same path, right? And that include file is actually going to use a C++ namespace to do the package mapping, just as before, and it's going to print the hello. There are two steps to this. Right, first I have to compile, and this thing is going to show you the steps it takes when it compiles. It's going to do an nm. It's going to compile to a .o, and it's going to do an nm and use the symbol information to look up the Ubiquis package and then link it. So the include step brings everything in to make it available for the link step, and then it runs. And now I can run this main file. It just says hello world. The way this worked, right, the way this Ubiquis thing worked, is the C++ code that it downloaded, it compiled into a shared object file with a special name. If I do an LDD on main, it shows you where these files are. And in fact, when I did the LDD, okay, it located this .so file. And when it did, it triggered Ubiquis, and it reinstalled the software to make the main run so that I can run it and get hello world again. So this is the basic C++. We have another little level on top of that. We have a ping library, PNG library, that a student, Matt Kemp at LSU, ported here. PNG is a C library that depends on zlib. What Matt did is he ported these to C++ and wrapped everything in the namespaces, and then, you know, made it possible to use through Ubiquis. So we compile PNG test. This has to do even more work, right? It has to go and get the source files, compile them into shared object libraries, then use the C++ compiler to build the actual executable. And it's finished here, and I can run it. And you can see all the wonderful information that it prints out. And if I go here, do the find of the packages installed, you can see that libpng and zlib are both installed. Okay, this just all happens automatically when you go to use it. There's no searching for packages. There's no install step that's explicit. If you have many users on the system, they can all just be sharing these same installed packages without anybody having to contact a sysadmin, without having duplicate copies all over the place, and so on. Okay, this just all happens automatically when you go to use it. There's no searching for packages. There's no install step that's explicit. If you have many users on the system, they can all just be sharing these same installed packages without anybody having to contact a sysadmin, without having duplicate copies all over the place, and so on. So one of the other interesting recent accomplishments we had with Ubiquis is we modified a scientific code called Cactus to make use of it to pull in its thorns. And one of the things that we do with the thorns in Cactus is we need to we sometimes, it's not always clear in Cactus which thorn you need. So in this case, we had these automatic dependencies, and we brought them in. But sometimes in Cactus, you need to have a thorn that implements an interface, and there might be 6 or 7 of them out there that do that. And the question is which one, and how do you find it? Well, I showed you this peer-to-peer server over here. And you can actually access this peer-to-peer server through a web interface. It has a WSGI interface, and this is the actual guy here. So what what the thorns do when wrapped in Ubiquis is they offer keys that you can search for inside the peer-to-peer server. I've sort of preloaded one for you here, where CCT : implements grid. Okay, so you look for something that implements grid, and this looks it up in the file and says the package, the Ubiquis package you need is this one, this Cactus-based Cartesian grid 3D. And now that you know that, when you're writing code, you can insert an import for that package in, and then go and use it. This has been Ubiquis, a package for automatically installing software from the web or peer-to-peer services. You can follow the development of this package at ubiquitous.com, ubiquis.com.